Okay, so today we'll be reviewing Overlord. And so basically, here's robot mode. He has knee articulation, hip, no waist. As you can see, feet can move, both front and back. He has he can move his abdomen like this. There's probably also like a special firing missile type of move or something like that. The chest opens, so you could put Prime Masters inside of there. The arm can move up, and elbow. Fist does not turn, and of course he has the pegs to mount the shield, and another peg here too even. Head can turn left and right. It also can slightly look upwards as well, which is pretty cool. And what else is there? You can even do this to make him taller if you want to. However, I just prefer him with the legs being I prefer the legs being normal because I think that the tall mode kind of is a little awkward. And of course his Titan Master Dreadnought. He's a little too tall for my setup here, so when I get a better camera holder, I'll probably end up redoing the review. And of course he separates into tank and jet, so we'll transform him. At least he's not too hard to transform. There we go. Put this here, down, get the cockpit. I actually rather like the cockpit window. It has a very nice look to it. And so now we have the jet. You can get his Titan Master Dreadnought and put him inside here like this. There we go. We got his stealth bomber jet. You can also mount the gun up here if you want. So that way it's pretty cool, even though it's the tank turret's gun. But it kind of achieves a very nice look. And he has just one piece of landing gear over here. So this is the underbelly of the jet. I forgot to turn this around. You can turn this. There we go, see? You can even open this from here. He can even jump out from over here if you want. So it lands quite nicely because it has these and this for landing gear. Unfortunately, no wheels, which would have been nice. Another thing that I really like about him is that these always pop off. Another thing I really like about him is this, that there's a clip here to lock in the arm, which is great because if you put anything that's top heavy that would make the arm move down, it instead holds it up well when he's in robot mode for holding heavy weapons. And it also, lets the jet arms, the arms become locked in pretty well. So anyways, onto the tank in a little bit. First I'll show what Titan Master Prime Master compatibility allows you to also stand up Dreadnought onto one of his pegs like this. There we go. And so now onto the tank mode. very simple. Just flip the tank turret parts like this. There we go. You snap these together, and then you put this, collapse the abdomen into the legs, and then you get the tank turret. You post the tank turret over here. There we go. And there's his little hatch for his Titan Master over here. So Dreadnought goes in there. There we go. Tank is pretty much a brick. Doesn't have any turret doesn't turn, unfortunately. But considering how the transformation is, that would not have been an easy gimmick to put into the toy, and how they cut costs and everything. Otherwise, the tank's pretty alright. It does have wheels, and they roll okay sometimes, but they're sometimes match a little unevenly against the ground. Tank mode is not really that perfect, but it's alright. And you can stand Dreadnought onto the pegs as well. Another thing of note is that some of the Titan Master weapons can also go into the pegs. Let me see if I can find one that's compatible. Okay, see here. For an example, Suffler has a hole inside his peg over here. So when you transform him to his gun mode, you can kind of recreate the missile turret that the original toy of Overlord has. Like this, see? There we go. You can peg it in. And it stays pretty nice. Kind of makes me wish that they would just make Overlord specific Titan Masters that match his color scheme. But it's pretty cool. So there's also a combined form for the jet. Unfortunately, it's not really that great though. What happens is that these, the bra pieces for covering the holes for the Titan Master engines, lock onto the tank and hold onto it over here, but it doesn't really secure that tightly or snugly, so it barely holds it. The joint is not very tight over here, so it doesn't latch on that well, and there's nothing to lock it like on Black Shadow, where over here there was a mechanism for Black Shadow's chest to lock with the tank that Black Shadow comes with. But Overlord doesn't have that, so you get like a very half-assed combined mode where it's like as if the jet is carrying the tank, but it doesn't really hold that well, and it can fall apart at any time, just if you so much as look at it crosswise. Otherwise, it's a pretty cool combined. See, there you go. It's not very tight or snug or secure. They didn't really make these parts here very tight to hold it in or for it to clasp, so it separates very easily. I prefer putting the tank in the back over here, kind of like in the cartoons, by doing this. Doesn't take that long, so we'll do it. So this is my way of doing his combined mode, kind of like in the cartoon. I do this. This becomes a nice cargo bay for Titan Masters or Prime Masters or deluxe figures. Put this in here. You can move these and put them here to make it look, to hide the legs. And there we go. Then you just mount the tank turret over here, so it gives the impression of the tank and the jet bomber merging. And so then there you go. You got your instant transport with that can transport Titan Masters and Prime Masters. But anyways, here's what's nice about this. You can unlatch these, and I don't know if it's really purely exact, but when you lie this down, it does go flush against the ground. So even though the tank turret sticks out over here and it's lower than the rest of the plane, it's compensated by these, so it can actually land on something in a quite flush, almost balanced kind of way. I just can't really sew it too well here because, okay, here we go. There, see? Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's pretty good for if you want him to be able to land in this mode. At least the chest bra allows that. The chest plates, whatever you want to call them, bra, chest plates, boobs, whatever. And other neat features, this can detach to become a shuttle. And this is why I find them to be a lot more fun than Black Shadow in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of configurations you can do with them. So you can make this into like a shuttle. I separate this to make it like a drone, and I feel that this looks more like a space shuttle without the nose cone, even though this is kind of blocky at the front. You can even turn it upside down if you want and make another style shuttle. And that's what I tend to usually do, actually. So pop it open there, and I put Dreadnought over here. That's it. There we go. You know, space shuttle. And here's the base mode, which I think actually came out quite well, and a little bit better than Sky Shadow, Black Shadow's base. It's pretty much neutered compared to the original toy base in a lot of ways, but it, in my opinion, is pretty well designed. It feels like an actual fortress. It kind of has a nice intimidating design to it. It looks pretty cool overall. Right now I wasn't able to get this part to go that flush with the legs, but normally I should be able to hold okay. And of course, see, these wings, they always pop off all the time. Every single friggin' time they pop off. But anyways, yeah, there you go, you know. Base mode is pretty cool though. I like it. And you could put Dreadnought over here. There's a little peg for the cockpit on the tower to allow him to stand there. You can even put him over here if you want, or on one of the legs as well. And cockpit, of course, you know, see, there's pegs over here, there. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 pegs in base mode. I think that there's 2 more over here, which is 8 pegs in total for the toy. But that doesn't really matter much for this mode, right? So, another thing I like doing is this. You can lower this and kind of make it like either like a shuttle launching bay, or I guess use this as an extra gun, kind of like a battle mode for the base. So that way, like the machine guns and the nose cone of the plane or the drone could be deployed or something, you know. Like, so, you know, shuttle launch by separating this piece here, which doesn't want to come out right now. And so it's a cool base. There's some nice fan modes you can make too, even. I like it. It works. For what you get at the price point, even though, like, I would have liked a much more involved base mode, but it would probably have to be at a supreme price point instead of leader in order to get that. And it would probably require a lot more parts forming accessories than it already does, because Overlord's always been an overglorified duocon, pretty much, right? Just a massive one. But it's pretty nice. And one of my favorite things is that the cockpit here, window, kind of has a cathedral sort of look. Because of the paint detailing over here, which is cool. And it makes it look much more like some evil fortress of some kind. That's pretty much it. So that's Overlord in all three modes. That's it. There we go. Skullgrin out. I give the toy, I'd say that I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. It only loses some marks because the problems of the wings on the side here falling out all the time. Also, there's some paint errors on mine. I think there's a glop of paint on one of the shoulders and a mark of paint on one of the arms. And the other thing is just that I feel that they could have incorporated a few more features into them, even though it would have probably upped the cost. Like, he has all this awesome molded detail over here in the chest, but this used to be a gun over here on the original toy, this hatch over here, but now it's just molded detail. The only other problems that I'd like to bring up with him is that this does not hold the other jet that well, and that's another reason why it loses marks. Because if this could latch onto the tank a bit better, there would be less of an issue, right? It would be perfect. And I guess that you can also do another fan mode that's like this for the jet tank, right? Turn this around, oval, and there you go. Turn the turret. So there's some ways to be creative with this toy, and that's what makes him fun and worth the price, in my opinion. If you use your imagination, he's a lot more fun. Otherwise, I feel that he's, in some ways, the simplicity is good because most people probably only just want the robot mode and don't really care about the vehicles so much. I feel that he is a pretty much perfect Overlord. Pretty good. I don't feel the need to own Carnifex that badly. Hasbro did a pretty good job on this. And the stealth bomber mode is pretty sleek looking and makes the toy work. I think though I would like to see a Supreme class Overlord in the future, or even a Titan class one that has all the features of the original toy and all the accessories similar to the original toy one day in the future. That would be nice. But otherwise, for now, he's the perfect Overlord. He's pretty good. Decent enough, for 50, 60 bucks Canadian. He does pretty well. Gives you quite a bit of features and you can have a lot of fun with him. And there's a lot of interactive potential. I also forgot to mention that the feet here have latches for hooking into Triptychon or Metroplex or into other Titan Masters, like a base mode. So it's a pretty cool figure. You can even do a lot of space shuttle fan modes with him because the arms look like rocket boosters. And which is pretty neat, right? And you do quite a bit of things with them. But of course, these wings always pop off all the friggin' time. See? They always pop off, no matter what. They love to pop off. And there we go. That's Overlord for you.